have had cystic acne for 20 years, pretty much my whole life since puberty. It used to be a lot worse in my 20s, and it's calmed down some in my 30s, thankfully. What few people know, though, is that I've discovered I get the best coverage when I use one single product. That's right, powdered foundation. I've tried different formulations of foundation and concealer, but I keep coming back to powdered foundation because since my skin is so oily, those other products tend to slide off as the day goes on, and powdered foundation tends to stick. Now, I'm no makeup artist. I'm actually a musician, but I'm going to share the technique that I've discovered gives me the best coverage. First, I've prepped my face with basically anything to make the powder stick really well and make my face very damp. It's very damp right now. I've actually mixed into my moisturizer some oil, some sunflower oil, and also a salicylic acid serum I've also mixed into there, along with my sunscreen. And I've found that my skin really likes sunflower oil better than any of the other oils I've tried. I just check to make sure that it's not a comedogenic oil, such as coconut oil, for example, because comedogenic oils means that it will clog your skin. It will clog your pores, so it could actually make your acne worse. Now, if I wanted to use any liquid or cream makeup, I would put it on now before I start with the powder, but today I'm just going to show you just the powder by itself. For the first step, I'm going to take a small brush and conceal all of the acute discolorations by leaving my face damp as it is and using my brush very thickly loaded with powder. Now, I say thickly because during this damp stage, I want to make sure that I never touch my brush to my face without it being thickly loaded with powder. Otherwise, I could get transfer in the opposite direction. Moisturizer or powder could transfer from my face to my brush. So I have it very thickly loaded with powder. There's no bristles of the brush exposed. And I'm going to apply the powder in an upward direction to minimize shadows. I want to prioritize lightening the downward facing surfaces of bumps or craters because no matter how well I correct the color on those, they will still look darker in most lighting because of shadows. I always also start by the first correcting the most severe discolorations, and then I go in order from severe to mild. It helps me not get overwhelmed, and it helps me, no matter when I have to stop, it looks good. So I can stop at any point. And if there's any that I'm still not happy with, I'll revisit those in a later step as I will show you. Now, something I recently learned from a makeup tutorial video from Khaki Reviews Beauty, which I will link in the description, is that all skin colors are mixed from just four, from just red, yellow, black, and white. This understanding allowed me to mix all of my foundations together to get a perfect match for my skin. As you can see, it matches very well. I mixed a match that's exactly mixed to my face. The black supplies the blue, which makes sense when you realize that black is just brown and blue mixed together. So if you have undertones that contain green or blue or purple, the black can supply those if you have an olive undertone or any of those others with blue. You can just take a tiny bit of black eyeshadow, matte black eyeshadow, or gray eyeshadow and just mix it tiny bit into your powder foundation. See, I'm always loading my brush back with a very thick layer of powder because I'm still working right now dry into wet. When I'm done with all the acute discolorations, I'm going to pat my face dry with tissue. The best I've found is paper table napkins because they're so large and absorbent. I'm very careful to hold the tissue on my face without rubbing. This way I don't disturb my coverage underneath. Now, if there's anywhere I'm not happy with the coverage I got, I'm going to fix that now. I will take a tiny drop of my moisturizer and oil mixture and I will dab it very precisely on the discoloration. Okay, this time I don't want to get it very wet and I don't want to spread beyond the very small area that I'm correcting. And then after I let it soak in for a minute, I'll tap more powder on there. Now I'm going to start covering the broad and diffuse discolorations. I wanted a much lighter and yellower color for my eye area, one that's less pink because I wanted to cover up some of the dark and purple areas under my eyes, purple-ish areas. This part I'm not afraid to rub it on because I don't have any acne here, so I don't need the coverage to be as complete. But if I did, then I could just tap it on as I did the rest of my face. Alright, now that I've covered the eye area, I'm ready to tackle the rest of the broad and diffuse discolorations. Now I'm going to be using my tapping touch again this time because I don't want to rub or buff at all so that I don't disturb the coverage I've already done. So this is only going to be tapping motions. That's very important. I'm using a color that I mixed to match my neck and my shoulders more so that my face will match my body. Now notice how much more pink my face is than my neck, my shoulders, or the rest of my body. If I had used the color I'm about to use, this body color on my individual spots, it would have left spots and blotches all over my face because I applied the powder more thickly than I'm going to do with this one. So paradoxically, it looks more even if I use two different colors. Okay, I mix the first color to match my face exactly without regard to the color of my body. I mix this one to make my face look more like my body. And I'm just going to go over the areas I want to correct. Because my face is so pink, I'm not going to cover my cheeks. I'm not concerned about getting makeup on my lips or my eyebrows because I'll clean those off at the end. Once I'm happy with all the coverage, I'll take that moisturizer and oil mix and my tissue, and I will wipe off the makeup off of my lips and eyebrows. You can carry your powder and your brushes with you for touch-ups if you want. I will get oily again and have to pat my face with tissue throughout the day, but I haven't found any way around that, even with primers or other products. I just make sure not to rub it at all when I use the tissue so that I won't disturb the coverage. And that's it. I hope this helps. Please feel free to comment or message me if you have any questions. I hope this helps with your makeup. Bye.